Look at this strange, twisted piece of iron. It is heavy, cold, and covered in deep orange rust. In the year 2025, this was arguably the most important object in your pocket. You called it a key. You spent your life guarding it, terrified of the moment it might go missing. Without this small, jagged metal shard, you were a stranger to your own home, locked out of your own life and your own safety. Imagine a world that has completely outgrown this primitive concept of access. A world where the very idea of a physical lock is as ancient as a stone wall. Today, we are uncovering how the threshold became invisible. Chapter 1. The Rusted Iron. Listen closely to the silence of the museum. Can you hear the soft scrap of a technical brush removing dust from an old brass padlock? This was once the stoic guardian of secrets. Beneath this layer of dust lies an artifact of a society built on exclusion and fear, a heavy metal lock that required a physical token to open. To us, it was security. To the people of 2050, it is a fossil. Welcome back to Beyond 2050, the unique channel where we don't just dream about tomorrow, we build it from the hard facts of today. I am your visionary guide through the architecture of our future. Today we journey into one of the most seamless shifts in history, the death of the key, the rise of access by presence, a world where every door in existence knows your name before you even arrive. Before we begin this deep dive, look at the doors around you. Imagine them as living organisms, aware and waiting for you. The journey into the frictionless world starts now. Let us go back to the chains. Chapter 1. The Chains of Safety. For thousands of years, human safety was defined by the strength of a door. We spent billions of hours fumbling for keys in the dark, struggling with jammed locks and lost plastic key cards. By the early 2020s, we tried to go digital. We used smartphones and Bluetooth, but the friction remained. We were still searching for a thing to prove who we were. We were still slaves to an external token. The physical key was a point of failure. It could be stolen, copied, or lost. It was a crude, ancient bridge between our biological selves and the physical spaces we claimed to own. We needed a better bridge. Every time you stopped to find your keys, you were reminded that the world didn't trust you. You were a guest in your own reality, forced to prove your identity to a piece of cold, dumb metal. Innovation in security had reached a dead end. We added more cameras and more alarms, but the core problem was the lock itself. It was a barrier to the natural flow of human life and movement. We didn't just need smarter locks, we needed the complete elimination of the lock. We wanted the world to respond to our presence as naturally as the shadow follows the body. We wanted total integration. We wanted to walk through the world and have it open for us. No more stopping, no more searching, no more proving. The demand for frictionless access began as a dream of the ultimate convenience. By 2030, the first true cracks in the industry of exclusion began to appear. Biometric sensors became cheap, ubiquitous, and incredibly fast. The era of who you are officially began to replace what you have. Scientists began to look for a way to turn the human body into a universal key, a way to make access so subtle that we would eventually forget that doors were even supposed to be locked. The breakthrough didn't come from a better card reader. It came from a convergence of AI, quantum sensing, and the deep understanding of the unique energetic field that every human being broadcasts to the universe. Imagine the world as an intelligent organism. In the old days, you had to scream to be heard. In the new world, the organism feels your vibration. It knows you are there. It welcomes you in. It was a shift from permission to recognition. The physical wall was about to become a fluid gateway managed by a global intelligence that never sleeps and never forgets a single face or heartbeat. The era of the lock was ready to end, and what lay on the other side would redefine the very concept of home and privacy. Let us look at the biological code of access. We stood on the threshold of a world without barriers, ready to step into a reality where every door is an open invitation. The key was dying, and our presence was being reborn. Chapter 2. The Biological Identity. In 2050, your identity is not a piece of plastic or a string of numbers. It is a symphony of biological signals, your heartbeat, your scent, and your unique neural gate. Every human heart has a rhythm as unique as a galaxy. In the world of 2050, your BCI broadcasts this rhythm in a localized, encrypted burst. The door hears your heart and opens instantly. Suddenly, the entire city is in sync with your pulse. You don't unlock your car, you walk toward it, and the door slides open because it feels the specific electricity of your living soul approaching. But the heartbeat is only the first layer. The next leap was the scent signature. Every person has a unique molecular cloud. Sensors in the air identify your chemistry and verify your access rights. This is security at the molecular level. It is invisible, impossible to forge, and completely effortless. The interface between you and the space you enter is a thin biological membrane of data and trust. By 2038, we added the ultimate verification, neural gate. The way you think and the way your brain processes the world is a signature that no AI or human can ever duplicate. As you walk toward a high-security vault, the system isn't scanning your eyes. It is scanning the specific neural ripples in your mind. If the gate matches, the barrier simply dissolves into light. But the true death of the lock happened when we achieved quantum presence. This marked the end of the physical barrier era, the birth of a world where barriers are only made of information. Every home is surrounded by a presence field, a web of sensors that self-assembles within the biophilic walls, a silent synchronization of the human intent and the architecture of the space itself. Intent became the only key you would ever need. No more voice commands. You don't say a word. You simply intend to enter, and the space acknowledges your presence. Connection is established. We no longer needed to carry the weight of security. We could walk with our hands empty while the world opened its arms to us. The barrier between self and space had dissolved. Privacy began to evolve. Why hide behind a dead piece of wood when you can be protected by a living field of data? We were becoming a species of pure, unhindered movement. The world became quiet and open again. No more clicking of tumblers, no more beeping of keypads, only the silent, powerful hum of a global recognition system working in perfect harmony. Security was transformed into a service. You didn't own a lock, you subscribed to a safety presence. Access was no longer a right of ownership, but the result of your biological existence. We were becoming masters of our environment, but every master has a shadow. We were building a world where closing the door was no longer an act of physical strength, but data. Before we explore the dangers of this openness, let us look at the beauty. Let us see how a human life actually feels in a world where everything is open. Welcome to 2050. Chapter 3: Frictionless Movement. Meet the world of 2050. Imagine walking from your bedroom to the street without ever touching a handle or waiting for a mechanism to move. The house flows around you. The BCI has mapped your morning routine. As you approach the kitchen, the cabinets open because they know you want tea. Your biology and your home are finally in perfect, silent harmony. You look at the front door. It doesn't look like a door. It is a seamless part of the biophilic wall, covered with living moss. As you approach, it simply slides into the ceiling. A soft notification drifts into your mind as you leave. Home secured, presence field active. Your house isn't locked. It is simply unavailable to anyone who does not possess your unique neural code. You step onto the street, no wallet, no keys. You walk toward a shared transport pod. The door slides open before you reach the curb because it detected your intent to travel. You arrive at your office. No badges, no fingerprints. You walk through a corridor of white light that verifies your neural signature in milliseconds. You are already at your desk before you realize. Access has become part of your flow. You don't look at a door, you look at your destination, and the world removes the obstacles in your path, as if by magic. Lunch is in a private garden. Only people with your social trust score can enter the space. The invisible barriers filter the crowd, creating a sanctuary of peace in the bustling city. An architect sits in a plaza, redesigning a building's entrance. There are no doors in his design, only gradients of access, where the air itself becomes solid to those without permission. Absolute focus. Your personal AI handles all the permissions in the background. It manages your digital keys so you can just be, to move through the world without any friction. Sunset over Neo-Tokyo. The city lights begin to glow. You walk into a luxury hotel. The elevator is already waiting. It knows your floor before you even think the number. Life in 2050 is absolute invisibility. Tech serves us silently, like the air we breathe. It is the final form of hospitality. The world has become a home where everything is open. You walk through a restricted lab where the air pulses with a soft blue light. The light is the lock. It allows you to pass because it recognizes your specific biological clearance. You attend a private club where the walls are made of water. They only part for those whose heartbeats are on the guest list. A shared symphony of access and exclusivity. Travel is a dance. You think of a city and the world opens its gates. No passports, no customs lines. The world is a fluid, open space where borders are only data. Safety is constant. Your BCI detects a stranger's hostile intent before they even reach your presence field. The air becomes an invisible wall, protecting you from the friction of others. We have solved the problem of the gate. We have eliminated the weight. We have created a world of pure movement. But what have we lost in this open paradise? We have lost the thrill of the secret door. We have lost the ritual of the key. We have become the residents of a world where nothing is truly closed. The city is a masterpiece of flow. Every person, every vehicle, every resource is moving in a perfectly calculated path to ensure that no one ever has to stop or wait. But as the sun sets, a question remains. Who owns the master key?
Who is in control of the fields that decide who can enter and who must stay outside?
Chapter 4. When the door rejects you. But beneath this perfection lies a terrifying risk: neural ghosting. If the network forgets you, you become a prisoner of the open world. Imagine standing in front of your own home. The moss-covered wall doesn't move. It doesn't recognize your heartbeat. To the world, you no longer exist. You are locked out of reality. Neural hacking insecurity is the nightmare of 2050. A hacker doesn't break your window. They rewrite your identity. They make the world believe that you are a stranger to yourself. You try to enter your par, but it treats you like a thief. You try to pay for food, but the city denies your presence. You are a digital ghost, invisible and untouchable. Meet the locked, those whose neural gate has been corrupted. They stand in front of open doors they cannot pass, trapped by an invisible code that has decided they are dangerous. They are the presence poor. Bandwidth defines your access. The divide between those who can go anywhere and those who can go nowhere is the new class war of 2050. Privacy died with the last physical lock. Now corporations know exactly where you are and who you are with at every second. They own the architecture of your movement. Presence advertising is relentless. A shop opens for you as you pass, showing you products you dreamed of last night. Your body is a beacon for 1,000 algorithms. Our biological skills are atrophying. We don't know how to protect our own spaces anymore. We have traded our physical autonomy for the convenience of a world that always watches. The fear of being unrecognized is the new terror. To be unverified is to be dead to the city. To be a person without a data gate is a nightmare. We are the first generation to live without a door. Every pulse, every step, every intention is a data point for a city that never sleeps and never forgets. The paradise is open, but its gates are made of light that can be turned off. We are the architects, but we are also the subjects of our own system. We must find a way to stay human, to keep a part of our life unreachable, to protect the mystery of a space that is truly unprivate and dark. The lock is gone, but the barrier is still here. It's just invisible. We are walking through a garden with 1,000,000 invisible eyes watching our every heartbeat. Chapter 5. The Threshold of Awareness. Looking back at 25 years of evolution, from the rusted iron key to total biological access, the lock had to die for us to flow. What did we leave behind in the hallway? We lost the safety of the bolt, but found the infinite scale of our collective presence. We traded the solid for the fluid. The real future isn't about better sensors, it's about keeping our humanity alive when the doors disappear. It is about the soul finding a home in a world of light. Beyond 2050 is the story of us. Will you be a node in the network or a flawed human? The void in your pocket is now a gateway in your heart. If this journey inspired you, please subscribe to stay with us. Your support allows us to keep exploring these vast horizons. Let's shape the future of our world together. Share your thoughts in the comments. Would you trust an invisible lock? I am beyond 2050. Never stop questioning. I will see you on the other side of time. Next time, ghost energy, when power flows through the air like Wi-Fi. Stay tuned for the next stage of our movement, the future is closer than you think. Remember, the future is not something that happens to us. It is something we create with every heartbeat and every open door. Good night, 2050.